What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. In this video I'm going to be focusing on a brutally honest viewpoint of the Skyline Valley major update. Since it came out, it has been praised by almost every single media outlet and YouTube out there that I've seen. Honestly, people glazed it so much that it was actually weird to hear something positive about Fallout 76, because these were the exact same people that have been shitting on the game for the last 5 years. Either that, or they were just staying positive for the new players from the TV show so they could get more clicks and views on their own YouTube channels. To be honest, I was confused as to whether they were even playing the same Fallout 76 that I was playing, because the new content was literally only 6 hours long. Now don't get me wrong, it's cool to have and I welcome it into the game, but as a loyal player at level 1100 with 3,250 hours sunk into the game, I feel like I have some clout to say that for long-standing players it was kind of mid, and in some cases it was just badly thought out. Now I waited a while to make this video as I just wanted everyone to kind of get over the hype and settle into the fact that it's just not that great, because I know for a fact that if I posted this on day one, everybody would have lost their damn minds. But I'm seeing more and more people being like, oh wait, so that was it? And now the rose-tinted glasses have finally worn off, and people have realised this was just another semi-average content drop. So today, I'm going to give you 7 huge reasons why it just sucked altogether and was never that good to begin with. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, it was way too short. Now I'm going to start off, guys, by talking about the thing that annoyed me most about the update, which is the fact that it was way too short. Now this is a problem Bethesda have always had with their updates. They make you wait months and in some cases years for any type of story content at all, and when it arrives, it's all said and done within less than a day, or at maximum, and I mean maximum, 2 days tops. And that's at least based on if you're a competent player who doesn't go around everywhere over encumbered at seriously reduced speed. And that's exactly the problem that's happened once again here with Skyline Valley. When you think about it from a long-term perspective, the update was actually extremely mediocre for its length. Most players I've spoken to completed all the new Skyline Valley main questline and side missions within the first 24 hours of its release, with the majority finishing it under 6 hours. And you could argue, well, this was a free update so you can't complain. And that's sort of true, but you have to understand that we went with no story content for over 6 months, as our last story-driven update was December 5th, 2023, with Atlantic City Part 1. Part 2 didn't have any story, it was just the expedition that was added. And before that, we went without story content for over 2 whole years, because they made us wait a stupid amount of time since the Steel Reign Brotherhood of Steel quests on July 7th, 2021. Now with that insane time length wait in mind, consider that the majority finished this expansion in just 4 to 6 hours, and we'll have to wait now another 6+ months at least until we get anything more to do. And those people who did do it in the 6 hours were not even blasting it and rushing. Those people left their quests and took plenty of time out to go to the new hourly event and the new endgame nuke boss. But it's not all bad. Thankfully the Skyline Valley update came with plenty of new places to build a camp, so people like me took myself to doing that, but literally after 1 week of building and playing it, it was just like Skyline Valley content never happened and we're all just back to being bored again. Not to mention the Skyline Valley quest lines were completely bugged out on consoles. Now I can't speak for PC as I don't own a PC, never tried it, but on console there were several problems with initiating conversations with NPCs, requiring you to quit your whole game and restart. Number 2, the Skyline Valley characters just don't make sense in West Virginia. Now don't get me wrong with this one, I'm obviously European, I'm English as you can tell from my accent, and it was nice to see some European characters in Fallout. But has nobody stopped to question why they made all the main cast in Skyline Valley German, with German tech and German weapons like the Zweihander in the middle of the post-apocalyptic West Virginian USA? It makes absolutely no sense at all. I don't know why, but every time Bethesda makes an expansion, the bad guys are always straight out of a stereotypical American Hollywood movie. The bad guys in Fallout 76 so far have been the things which America hates the most: China, Russia, and America themselves. The plotline here feels straight up unnecessary. It feels like you're playing Fallout World War II with your German named weapons that make absolutely no sense to even exist in West Virginia, let alone in any USA vault. Without directly saying it, the story is practically throwing in your face that you meet and try to capture a crazy, unstable, evil German ruler who wants to bring law and order. Oh, I wonder where I've heard that one before. Like, why did they have to be German? They could have been from anywhere else in the world covered by the lore in a ton of games they have, and it would have made more sense. If you look at the lore of the entire Fallout franchise, the only German characters to appear were for a memory sequence in Fallout 3 that bear no significance to this plot. And apart from that, all the other mentions of Germany or even German people were done through terminals or holotapes, and no mention of West Virginia. It's a pretty big plot hole too, because this isn't just a random couple of Germans that came to settle, this is literally a major character, a Vault 63 overseer, so he would have been in the Vault-Tec records. But nope, they just added him in out of nowhere and hoped nobody would notice. And the crazy thing is that everybody in the community just kind of accepted it and said, yep, great job Bethesda. Number 3, dangerous pastimes removal. Yep, that's right, as of June 25th, 2024, if you didn't know already, the new Skyline Valley event Dangerous Pastimes has been removed from the game after just 13 days. Bethesda had this to say on their official Discord. Howdy everyone, we wanted to confirm that Dangerous Pastimes has been disabled while the team addresses a few issues around the event. We expect to reactivate it after an update in the near future. We'll keep you all updated as we have more info to share. Now before the event was even removed, it just sucked anyway, took way too long to finish, and the enemies would take way too long to spawn in. The whole thing felt like a huge drag. And the lightning harvester plan that you get from part of the new update doesn't even function. It's just a dead camp decoration with no use. Now I'm not sure why the event was removed, as Bethesda didn't elaborate any further on it, but we've seen from other events removed in the past, they don't sometimes come back, like Mischief Night. This was an event in October 2019 that saw you going around White Springs and blowing everything up in sight, arguably one of the best events in the game. But due to the event making the game drop heavily in frame rate and performance, it was removed. Now I didn't experience any of those issues in Dangerous Pastimes, and I managed to get every plan that was available within the 13 days we had it, so I'm really not sure what the issue was here. Either way, does anyone really care that it's gone? Number 4, the entire PlayStation version wasn't tested. So when the new update launched, the PlayStation users got some serious game-breaking bugs, which triggered crazy flashing lights all over the screen whenever a player tried to interact with an NPC vendor, a player vendor, or the ammo stash box. 9 times out of 10, it would trigger a blue screen crash error and shut down the game app. And this went on for 9 days, and it was eventually patched, but it came at a price, as most players couldn't play through the double score weekend. The whole situation could have literally just been avoided by running PTS on console and actually testing the game like normal developers do, with a local offline copy and then an online test server for the public. It was clear that 0 people working at Bethesda did any kind of testing, and even in the PTS they still made bad negative changes when it went live. For example, the new Ticket to Revenge weapon that everybody gets as part of the quests was an average railway rifle. It wasn't a bloody explosive, quad explosive, or quad faster fire rate god roll by any means. It was just an average performing double bloodied railway with nothing really special about it. You could have rolled something 3 times better on your own in 5 minutes. Yet they went and nerfed it and removed the bloodied effect and made it furious instead. So now it's just another piece of script. Honestly, Bethesda have just got no idea what they're doing with this game. They don't know what the community wants, and they've got no idea how to keep us happy. Even with us screaming, do not change this item, they changed it anyway and haven't listened to any of the feedback to revert it back to the way it was. Even with the flashing lights issues on PlayStation, this should have been addressed immediately, because there were entire complaints from users with epilepsy that it could pose a major health and safety risk and cause seizures for some players. At this point, it looks like players are just begging Bethesda to test their own game and listen to feedback. Frankly, it's embarrassing. Sorry, not sorry, Bethesda. Number 5, major graphics breaking bugs everywhere. So on top of the whole PlayStation epilepsy issue, the Skyline Valley update also completely broke the game's entire graphical interface at code level. Thousands of players around the world were seeing insane graphical errors and game-breaking bugs. Take a look at this insane clip of whatever the hell is going on here. And then the camp graphics got even worse, and foundations will reappear in the sky. And we still have this classic power armor stretched out body bug that's been in the game for 5 years. Number 6, the season fiasco. So for no reason at all, Bethesda decided to end Season 16 weeks early so that people didn't have time to finish it. And this would have made it impossible for players to have collected all the rewards because of them doing this, and it resulted in the entire community kicking off into a firestorm. Now, to make it worse, the new season that it got replaced with is completely terrible. As soon as it started, they had players begging them to change it back to the older scoreboard system with a completely different theme, which I thought the older system was personally 10 times better. Oh, but the drama didn't end there. Bethesda had told people that the rewards on the final page of the season, such as the atomic shot points, were infinitely unlockable, as long as you had the tickets to spend, and advertised with the infinity symbol next to the items. Now, of course, no players would have got that far yet on day 1 or day 2 of the season coming out, but some of the content creators paid real world money in order to get the final page and be able to show us guys to see if it was true. And it turned out that nothing was infinitely unlockable after all, sending the community back off into another firestorm. This was then subsequently addressed by Bethesda, who would call it a mistake and then made the items infinitely unlockable. Yeah, sure, it was a mistake, Bethesda, sure it was. Number 7. Fasnacht major bugs. So I'm going to add it to my list as it's something that update code still messed up. As what some people consider the worst event in the game, Fasnacht is back. And with worse odds than ever of 0.23% drop chance of getting a rare mask, because Bethesda kept adding things into the loot pool without removing the older common masks. I actually made a whole video on my channel about how these numbers work, so you should go check it out. Anyway, as if that 0.2% chance wasn't bad enough, the Skyline Valley update code completely messed up the event, and Bethesda then admitted on their Discord that masks still weren't dropping correctly as a reward, so even if you had have got one in the 0.2%, it might not have even shown up in your loot pool. Bethesda had this to say about the issue on their official Discord. Another update for you all. The development team is aware that in some cases players have not received their rewards for Fasnacht after finishing the event. A fix for this is in progress, and when we have more information on when it's ready to be released, we will let everyone know. Thank you for your patience and understanding. So as you read there, it's now been fixed, but it remained as a bug for 3 full days in a 14-day event, which isn't very good and has led to Bethesda being forced to repeat events due to bugs exactly like this in the past. This is just more further proof that Bethesda clearly don't test things properly before they're pushed out, which you think they would for a major update on a major video game company. So all that being said, guys, in summary, I hope you can see the Skyline Valley update was, well, just never that great to begin with. I honestly feel like the people that praised it hard probably regret their words by now, as they'll literally be sitting there unable to repeat any of the new content, and like all of us won't have anything to do now, apart from sit around and wait for the events to be fixed and put back into the game, and then be subservient to paying for Fallout First for another 6 months minimum until the next content drop. And let's be honest here, that's what we're all going to do, because we don't have a choice. And this is the loophole that Fallout fans have now been stuck in. You love Fallout, so you want to consume more, but have to deal with all the bullshit Bethesda stuff in between. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. Check out my other Fallout 76 videos on the channel. I've got a whole playlist of stuff for you to watch, including a ton of camp builds. I'll see you in the next one.